On today's video, we're going to touch a little bit on timeline, continuity, where this story falls, because it all revolves around this lightsaber, this book, and when Ventress shows up in the Bad Batch. Let's get at it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. Today we're taking a look at one of my favorite characters from Clone Wars, which is Ventress. Ventress is an awesome character. Now, we see her on and off throughout the Clone Wars up to around season 5, I believe it is. And then if you want a little bit more about Ventress, you have to read this book. And then after this book, she shows up in the Bad Batch. Now, this is where this lightsaber comes into play because it gets a little confusing because I don't know where the timeline between this book, Star Wars Dark Disciple, and the Bad Batch episode actually coincide with each other. Now, in the book Dark Disciple, this is actually the lightsaber she has, and it's on here on the cover. This is a book from canon. Here is my confusion. If this is the lightsaber that she's using in Dark Disciples, where did the lightsaber come from that she's using in Bad Batch, if that is in the same exact timeline of this book? If she really does die at the end of this book, does the Bad Batch episode take place before this book? Or is the Bad Batch episode just a kind of side thing that she does in the middle of this book, asking for a friend? They take place somewhere around...
Star Wars Dark Disciple takes place during the Clone Wars, specifically around 22 to 19 BBY. Star Wars The Bad Batch starts right after the events of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which is in 19 BBY.
So according to ChatGPT, there's like a 3-year window where that book takes place. And I guess that's why she looked the way she did in the Bad Batch, which is a lot like the cover of the book, but the lightsaber is different. So what happened to this lightsaber that they said is canon, and Disney did make a legacy lightsaber of this lightsaber? Oh, right. There it went. Now, is any of that information even accurate? I have no idea. It's Disney, it's timelines, it's continuity. Yari was in the Acolyte. He wasn't even born yet. God, I'm looking old. Really gotta do my beard. All the gray is coming out. And then, of course, there's always that possibility that she actually does die in Dark Disciple and is brought back by witch magic. And that could be the reason why in Bad Batch she says,
I've got a few lives left.
If that is the case, and she is brought back by witch magic after Dark Disciple and is now in the Bad Batch, which means she already lost her lightsaber and had to go find a new lightsaber, which is where the new lightsaber comes from. Maybe. But whatever. We had Ventress again for another episode. That's all that mattered to me. I love that character. So this does come over courtesy of CCSabers. Thank you so much to CCSabers for sending this over. I'll put a direct link and a discount code for everybody down below in the description if you want to check this out and everything else that CCSabers has over there to offer you. And if any of you had followed this channel for a while, you know that 89Sabers is one of my favorite lightsaber manufacturers. They make some great quality stuff. But before we dig into this unboxing, if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please help the channel out in the YouTube algorithm by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification button down below. And if you are a returning viewer and a friend of the show already, thanks so much for coming back. Let's check out this Ventress lightsaber. All right, let's see what we get here in the box. Now again, this is the 89Sabers, and I do have 2 other versions that I'll show you. Well, compare them side by side. I have a Disney version and I do have a Xeno version. That way, in case you have either of those, you can see the size comparison between these, because this is rather small. All right, so let's see what we got here. We have the hilt itself. Then over here you have the pommel section, which actually does have a crystal in it, which is really cool. Put that aside for a sec. Then we get the USB charger, and we have a blade plug, and we have an Allen key right there. So let's pop that out so we can pop that blade on. This is a 7/8 blade. So if you have some extra blades laying around that are 7/8, you could always get this without a blade. All right, so here's the blade plug. Let's pop that in, see what that looks like. All right, and over here we do have a removable chassis. This is a Profi 3.9. We do have an 18650 battery, our Profi connection right there. And on the other side, we have a kill switch. So let's flip that on. And on the bottom, we do have a bunch of LED lights, which is going to light up the kyber crystal at the bottom there. All right, so let's pop this on in, battery facing the switches over here. Oh, beautiful. Now you can see on the side here, we have the kyber crystal right up on in there. Now, let me just point out one last thing about this pommel. It's also the coupler. So if you have a Darth Maul 89 Sabers, this also turns into the piece that connects the two together. So when you unscrew this ring, you can see the crystal still in there, so nothing's changed. This becomes the coupler with the Darth Maul. Now this is not an 89 Sabers, this is a Xeno I have, so it will not hook in together. Now I'm just going to assume that possibly the 89 Sabers is about the same length as the Xeno I have here. Just to give you an idea, here's what that would look like. Now, hopefully I'll get this in so I can show you what the whole thing would look like and what the 89 Sabers Darth Maul can do. But this would kind of be a decent representation, but the Darth Maul would have that extra little audio venting piece there. Now, over here on the CCSabers website, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It does look like the Darth Maul also has a coupler, and those two couplers, the pommel from this one and the coupler from this one, connect in the middle, because you can kind of see where the audio vents are right there in the middle. You can see the lights coming through there, which is awesome. Now we'll do a quick side-by-side comparison just in case you have the Disney version, which is this. Now this does have a crystal, like I was saying, it is in the wrong spot. They did put it over here, but again, it's because the blade has to go all the way down into here. And it is also quite a large hilt as well, not nearly as small as the 89 Sabers version. And here is the Xeno version. Now it's actually very close to the same size as the Disney, but this does not have a crystal anywhere inside. And here is the 89 Sabers. Now this has the crystal in the correct spot right over there. We got a little bit of shine through over here, and we have a kyber crystal at the bottom. So the Disney is coming in at 13.5 inches. The Xeno's coming in at looks like 12.75 inches. 89 Sabers is coming in at 11.5 inches. So there you go, just in case you do have one of these others, you have a good reference of size. Now this is a 2-button Profi. We have the top power and we have the secondary auxiliary over here. Now the one thing I like about how this Profi is programmed is that you can kind of cycle through the different blade styles that are on here. So all you got to do is hit the power, right? Then you're going to hit and hold auxiliary and then hit your top button. So you're going to hit and hold and then hold for a second. So hold and 1, hold and 1, hold and 1. And it's great because you can just cycle through a bunch of the blade styles that they have on here. Some of them are just solid colors. This one we have a fire effect. Purple. Another kind of blinky fire effect there. Twinkly blue. Twinkly pink and some yellow spots. Kind of a whitish blade, and it's got this red thing kind of going back and forth. Rainbow blade. Kind of a green and white flashing start and then turns to white. So there's a bunch of cool stuff on here. Then you can even go in there and just change the color. You're going to hold the auxiliary and then tap your power. So hold and tap, and that's going to put you into color change mode. So you just want to twist your saber for whatever color. You can go really slow and really fine tune your color. Let's put this into a blue. Then you just hit your power button. Getting into your volume menu is very easy. With the blade off, it's the exact opposite of doing the color change. So you're gonna hold your power and then tap your auxiliary. So hold and tap.
Volume menu.
And then to adjust, you just twist your saber.
Maximum volume.
And then hit your power.
Exiting volume menu.
To go instantly and mute, you're just gonna double tap your power. All right, let's give this a little twirly twirl. Of course, the 89 Sabers always have a really nice sound.
Jedi, they'll never see it coming.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Smooth fuzz.
Master wouldn't do it.
Because of the size of this and, you know, the thickness and really there's nothing getting in your way, I really like the way this feels.
Lord Vader.
I love that you can flip through the different blade styles. Oh, that crystal in there looks so freaking awesome. And I love that. God. And then you can see even the crystal reacts. Now to go one direction in your font, you're going to hold it up and hit your auxiliary.
A Mandalorian and a Jedi.
I am a Jedi.
Smooth.
And to go back, hold it upside down, same thing, auxiliary.
I am a Jedi.
A Mandalorian and a
Smooth gray.
Blade styles is the same kind of thing as the font. You can go forward and backwards. All right, so you're going to hold your auxiliary and hold your top button for a sec. So, okay. All right, so if you want to go back, upside down, same thing. Hold your auxiliary and hold your power for a second. Now, the only one thing with the programming, if you kind of change the color, you leave the font and they come back to the font, nothing seems to be saved. So, get red, let's go to, I don't know, let's go to green, save that in. All right, so you can see it's there, but then when I leave the font, okay, and then let's go back to that.
I'll never join you.
It defaults back to the original.
On the dark side.
Now, I don't know if there's a specific way to kind of save that in there, or it's just something that has to be programmed into Profi. Profi is just one of those things that don't work with my brain, so I've never learned how to code it. All right, my friends, that is it. This is the Asajj Ventress lightsaber from Star Wars Dark Disciple. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments below, and I want to thank CCSabers for sending this over. I'll put a direct link and a discount code for you down in the description. And don't forget to help support the channel simply by hitting the like, subscribe, notification button, and I will see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.